Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at the Biden-Trump presidential map based on the current polling for the month of July. And this is going to be after the debate, but a lot of individual states have yet to release any polls yet. I expect that to change over the next week. So most of this is still going to reflect where things were at before the debate in the individual states. Now you could take the data from a variety of sources. I usually take it from 270 to win. However, I also use Real Clear Politics and 538 because some of them do use different polls and they might go farther back than what we think is relevant. Of course, I think a poll taken in the last month is going to be more worthwhile than looking at one from 4 or 5 months ago. But as always, some states just don't have any polling, or they only have one poll from a long time ago. We're still going to use it if we can't find any other data. This is the kind of thing that could easily change every couple of days. And given all the craziness we've seen so far in this election, I expect that to continue. We don't even know if Biden is going to be the nominee anymore, but let's fill it out as if he were the nominee. And this is also just going to be the head-to-head matchup. Kennedy is not going to be a factor in this map. So we'll start with the safe states, and these are going to be over a 10-point margin. So for Joe Biden, he's going to start off with Hawaii, and then on the West Coast, he's going to get Washington, Oregon, and California. Now we've got to head out all the way to the East Coast. Now we're going to give him Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. We've got to skip over some of these states, but we're going to go a little bit south and give him Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. I would expect more than that to go safe on Election Day, but again, some of these states had very few polls or one from a long time ago. So now let's do the safe states for Trump. He's going to get Alaska, then he's going to get Idaho and Utah in the west, and that's going to continue all the way through the Dakotas, Missouri, Arkansas, down to Louisiana, and then back up and over to West Virginia and South Carolina on the East Coast. And one other state that is going to go safe for Trump this time is going to be Iowa. The recent poll that showed Trump up 18 there is going to be a big factor as to why this gets into double digits. So after that, we can go down to the likely states, and these are going to be between a 5 and a 10-point margin. So for Biden, he's going to get Colorado and he's going to get New Mexico. We finally got something updated out of New Mexico, and it was at about a 7-point margin. Colorado is a state that can use some updated polling. That could be safe depending on which data you're going to use. Then we can head east, but we've got to stop off in Illinois. Again, no updated polling here, which is unfortunate. Whatever we've got did show it at just under 10 points. Then all the way in the northeast, we've got Maine's 1st congressional district. The polling here has been weird. I would not expect this to get under 10, but from what we've got, it is going to go likely. Then let's also give Biden the state of Connecticut. Like Illinois, not any recent polling here, but it is going to go likely. And then also New York and New Jersey. These are two states that a lot of people think could actually get under 10. Whatever polling there is right now does reflect that. If that happened, that would be a significant lurch toward Trump. I'm waiting to see some different pollsters survey these states, but for right now, they're going to stay under safe. Then we've got the likely states for Trump. And just under 10, we've got Ohio. Then just over 5, we've got North Carolina. And finally, the two big states of Texas and Trump's home state of Florida, those are also going to go likely. Those are a lot closer to going safe than down to leans. And the last likely state for Trump is going to be in the Southwest, and that's going to be Arizona. Again, maybe things change here after the debate, but after looking over all the data, I found it to be just over 5 points. Now we've got the more competitive states. Lean are under 5 points and Tilt are 1 point or less, so let's go through these one at a time. First, let's start all the way in the Northeast in Maine. This gets a little tricky because there was a Critical Insights poll here taken last month. They did not take a look at the individual congressional districts, but they do have ranked choice voting here, and in the first round, Trump did have a 1-point lead, but in the last round, Biden had the small advantage. So it does get confusing, and if you factor in the other poll from several months ago that showed Trump here with about a 6-point lead, I tried to even it all out, and I did put it as a tilt for Trump. If it actually flipped, I think that would be a surprise and pretty much a landslide for Trump at that point. So I do want to see some fresh polling out of Maine. Next door in New Hampshire. This is another tricky one because we just saw the poll that showed Trump up 2 in this state after the debate. If you go by that, then Trump is in the lead here by 2. If you factor in some of the other polls that are a little bit more outdated, then this is going to go toward Biden. So I tried to even it out, and it is going to go to Biden by a lean margin. Now also, let's take a look at Virginia. Here's another one that's on the radar for some people for being a competitive state. There's been a couple of polls here that has showed it dead even. Since there's nothing new to take a look at here, all I can do is leave it as a tie and put it in purple. Then we're going to head down to Georgia, and this one is going to go leans for Trump. Let's continue clockwise and head all the way out to the silver state, Nevada. This is another one that's going to go leans for Trump. And both Nevada and Georgia are closer to going likely for Trump than down to a tilt. Then real quick, we're going to do Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. This one is going to go leans for Biden. Then we could head around to Minnesota, and this one is going to go toward Biden, but it's going to be closer than his previous margin. It's going to be a lean rating. And finally, we've got the 3 Rust Belt states. Again, some of this depends on the polling you're going to use. They're all competitive, and there's nothing fresh since the debate. And this is pretty much where the entire election is going to be won or lost. It's assumed that if Trump wins one of these 3 states, then it's very likely he's won the election. So let's fill them in. Wisconsin was the closest, but it's going to go tilt for Trump. Michigan and Pennsylvania are also going to go toward Trump by slightly redder lean margins. So that's it. The final total comes out to 314 for Trump, 211 for Biden, and we've got 13 in Virginia that remain tied. This is definitely going to change. We've only had 1 month since Trump's conviction. We've barely had a week since Biden's debate. We've still got conventions. We've got Trump's VP pick. Maybe we get to Trump's sentencing at some point. It's just early July. We don't even know if Biden is going to be the nominee. There could be all kinds of changes and things happening domestically, internationally, maybe a couple of October surprises. I think the safe assumption is to buckle up and be prepared for anything to happen. But the bottom line on the polling is pretty much for the entire year, Trump has been tied or had a slight advantage across most of the states. That has not changed since we last did this video a month ago. I don't expect it to change in the next week or two, but you never know what's going to happen 3, 4, 5 weeks out. Biden at the debate did not at all do himself any favors for how old he presents himself. So there's a ton of baggage there, but there's also a lot of baggage surrounding Trump. I've expected Trump to go up a couple of points following that debate. So far it's looked like that's happened, but a lot of times politics is very fleeting and things fade from memory pretty quick. Next month will only be 3 months out. I think at that point we're going to have a little bit better idea of the shape of this race. So that's it. This is the map based on the current polling for Biden and Trump. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about the current polling? Are you waiting to see what the individual states show after the debate? What kind of movement do you expect? Do you think it's going to be a complete wipeout for Biden? Or do you think he's going to shake it off and it's still going to be extremely close? And do you think Biden is still even going to be the nominee? Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join if you'd like to help support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.